Ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you very much for your attention, and now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the takeoff. The
so hard every night and day, and now we get the payback. Trying so hard, saving up the paper now.
It's a little bit long overdue, but it's alright. I need to go ahead and get all this shit out. Get all it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it might be a lot of people in here. It might not be. Everybody might be up. They might not. I don't know. But I'm going to just go ahead and give y'all the fairy news for July. Some of y'all don't know what fairy news is. So fairy news basically is that I give you the tea, prophetic messages, channel messages, predictions. I give you the motherfucking sauce for the month. I used to do it for the zodiacs, and then I realized that each month has 2 zodiacs in it. So how the fuck can I give you one zodiac energy? I gotta give you both. You dig what I'm saying? And yes, we are approximately 10 days in July, but that doesn't matter. Hey y'all, that doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because I've been dropping gems all Cancer season on Patreon. Get on your Patreon. Okay, but these collective energies will be monthly, so let's just go ahead and get started. So July has already been a fucking doozy. Bitch has been a fucking doozy. Okay, July has already been an energy of WTF, BFFR, like what the fuck, you know? And the reason why July has already started off that way is because we've had a lot of astrological events happening that have transpired in the physical faster than we can fucking say hello. All right? A lot of things in the media, you know, people like to say it's a distraction. But see, I told you guys, it's not a distraction. You know why it's not a distraction? Because as we were taking the time at home to open ourselves up to what the Lord was trying to show us, so we wouldn't be shocked when shit like that shows up on your fucking phone screen. You know, when bitches talking about, oh my God, that motherfucker back there is not real. You're not tripping. Why would you trip? You all thought, you really thought that we were human. You really thought that everybody in this bitch was human. You expect for me to believe that shit? You know what I'm saying? All the controversy that's going on in social media right now, sweetheart, it's not a distraction. It's exactly what the fuck we told y'all it was going to be. It's not a joke. You know what I'm saying? But see, what I was trying to get everybody to understand was that shit don't got nothing to do with you. That shit don't got nothing to do with you. You know, the reason why the airplanes and a lot of transportation will have issues in the month of July, you know, all summer actually. All summer there will be a lot of issues with the transportation, but it specifically starts in July because July is the month that the North Nodes change, and motherfuckers is trying to make sure they get to the right timelines and right energy. Okay? So hearing about certain shit shouldn't be surprising to y'all. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I tried to tell them that men right now, men are going through it. They're losing their fucking minds. Why are men losing their fucking minds? Because they're having to open themselves up to a new sense of emotional intelligence that they've never had before. They're fucking losing their minds. They're tripping over things that they wouldn't trip over. They're extra sensitive. You know why they're extra sensitive? Because their ego is going through this very strong death because they can no longer stay a part of muggle shit. If you were part of the live that I did back in June, then you heard me tell y'all that a lot of men are going to want women of faith and not of society, because women of society can be manipulated and women of faith have real power. Let's get into it. The rise of the divine feminine is not starting, it's here. So you guys are going to see more powerful women take stance. I know you guys have been seeing a lot of women speak on men, because you know why women can speak on men. This girl posted this on TikTok. I stitched it, and of course I made a joke out of it because, bitch, you like my voice? It turn you on? Because what? This ain't nothing until you see it in a phone. Okay? and it's never the good girls. It's not the good girls. See, that's the illusion I want to go ahead and wake up to in July. We were never good girls, but we're better women now. We're evolving. We're evolving. Evolving. We was never a good girl, but we are better women now. Okay? Let's be very clear. You know, because I think that's something that I feel like they're going to try to pitch to the men. You know, because, you know, men are like, oh, I'm not, you know, all these women just want money, and all these women want this, and all these women want that. You know what I'm saying? I never hear niggas that got money complain about the bitches that want the money. You know what I'm saying? Because real men understand their position. It literally says in the Bible, you're here to be a provider and protector. Okay? If you just want to go ahead and call a spade, and let's just say you didn't have a true provider and nurturer in your life to actually teach you that, then just say that. It's okay. Because I'm telling you, nothing's going to change from the gold digging hoe to the good woman. You spending money, nigga. Let's call a spade a spade. The difference between the women is this sense of entitlement. Where she feels entitled, nigga, this is a part of standards. There's no entitlement here. This is a standard. Meaning, nigga, if you don't meet the standards, nigga, it's cool. It's 8.9 billion niggas out here. See, that's the difference between these society-driven women and these faith-driven women. It's a part of our standards because God has literally told us men are here to provide and protect. You're here to love and nurture. Meaning, it's a standard because we have standards with love and respect for ourselves. We don't need to be entitled to anything. We don't need, you know why we don't need to be entitled? Because if one nigga don't work, we'll get another one. That's why men have woken themselves up to like, oh my God, this is an illusion. These bitches is crazy. Her ass and her titties and her stupid ass mind is fucking up my pockets. Yes, nigga, it is. It is. It always was. In the Bible, the lady tells her son, do not fall victim to sex and being drunk. Don't fall victim to that shit. She said it in the Bible. She literally told her son that. Okay? The month of July is going to finally illuminate this because, you know, the sun is illumination, meaning it's revealing all the darkness. And the darkness is the fact of that I told you guys, a lot of men were never nurtured. Your mother does not love you. Your mother's not that girl. She is a strong, masculine woman. That's all she is. And what she's done is she's taking her fuck-ups and tried to create them into being rewards and trophies. Bitch, you don't get a gold star for being a mom? What? That was a choice. So the fact that you gave them something to eat or you had clothes on their back or you provided a house, it's what the fuck you were supposed to do. That's actually what the man in your life was supposed to do, but you skipped that part. It's cool. You know? It's cool. You had a baby out of lust, not love. It's cool. You know? But that whole thing of trying to portray that being a good parent is just the feeding, the housing, you know, the safe environment, you know, that's not enough. And we're seeing that every day as adults that was not enough. Kids need love, true love. They need guidance. They need to be honored and respected. You know, in the Bible, it also says children should not disobey their parents, but parents should not upset their children. Okay? That's what's going to be illuminated. Because all this lack of nurturing and then lack of love that we've received as children has made us very codependent on society. And since the North Node is changing into Aries in the middle of the month on the 17th in approximately 7 days, that will be revealed. So your codependency on a mental, physical, spiritual, and financial level has to be removed. And see, the removal process comes with the awareness and it comes with the truth. And the truth is, you do not get rewarded for doing the shit that you chose to do. That was a choice. That's why God has shown you everything about people, the truth in them. He's showing you the truth in them. So you can choose. If you want to fuck with them or not, you don't have to fuck with nobody. See, that's the big rude awakening that's about to happen that I said on TikTok about. See, the thing about it is, the very moment that I get on women, there's a very large collective of women that be like, oh my God, I just can't wait. I can't wait till we do this. But bitch, you're a part of the fucking problem yourself. You're a part of the problem yourself. Because that ego is disgusting. Okay? I told y'all, a woman's ego is worse than a man's ego. Don't ever let nobody fool you and play you and tell you that a man's ego is worse than a woman's. It's a lie. Women's ego are disgusting. Women will kill behind you. Women will off you, will poison you, will do work on you, spell work, all that shit. They're envious, insecure, and insecure bitch will do anything. An insecure bitch will do anything behind a nigga, she'll do anything by a friend, she'll do anything about her children, she'll do anything. Why this is a big deal is because the shift in the men's spiritual awareness is illuminating the women's weakness. They're weak. Their weakness. And what they've done is that they've learned certain tactics from other women that actually practice certain femininity, different things. And they have learned to just manipulate the male culture. They've been doing it for decades and centuries and shit like that. But now that we're going into a more independent thing, a man that is trying to be a man of God, a man of structure, a man of faith, a man of spirituality, he cannot thrive in that energy. He can't thrive in that. Because the last time, I told y'all, the last time a man was led was by his mother and she didn't do nothing but lead him to hell. She didn't do nothing but lead the man to hell. I don't know how much more to explain this, but like, these men have been led to hell. That's why their emotional unavailability is a lie. That's why their narcissism is a defense mechanism. That's why it's all a lie. They don't really act like that. They just turned into that. I told you guys, you weren't born weak. It was developed over time. So all this weakness that we are seeing in people is just by nature of how long they've decided to stay in weak mentality. Okay? They weren't born that way. You were never born to be weak. You were never born to be weak. Please understand that. Write that down. Type it down somewhere. Put it on your bedroom wall. I was not born to be weak. Hey, Bree, I wasn't. You developed that over time. So as God has been trying to illuminate all your weaknesses so you can transmute them into strengths through your confidence, because you've finally started to process the emotions, you see that everybody is under a mask, a facade. It's a lie. Okay? The biggest facade that we're seeing is that people's spirit are not in the right place. Okay? I don't care how many Bible verses they read. I don't care how much sage that they burn. Okay? I don't care what angel numbers they got on their body, on their face, on their book. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care who they worship. I don't care who they pray to. I don't care. Their spirit is not in the right place. And in the month of July, what we will be going through is an illumination of where everybody's spirit lies. And I'm telling you, their spirit don't lie in the right place. It doesn't. It never did, actually. It never did. Okay? And what we're understanding is the fact of that in July, let me go ahead and tell y'all this. A lot of y'all spiritualists are ops. They've manipulated your subconscious mind to being under a spell of them being some type of guru or some type of teacher. Okay? And whole time they only are in that position because they was a weak individual that actually ended up allowing other weak individuals invest in them to make it seem like as if they were strong. They are not. They are not. Okay? There's a lot of things happening with groups of people. Spirituality, groups of people. Religion, groups of people. Government, groups of people. Education, groups of people. Healthcare, groups of people. Banking system, groups of people. All these groups of people literally have allowed people of weakness to to manipulate them into thinking that they were the strength. They are not. That's why the next 6 months, including July, from July to December, all that shit's getting knocked over. All of it's getting knocked over. Okay? How you see celebrities knocked over. Why the fuck are you idolizing them? They're a very weak individual. You have allowed their presence and what they're doing in society manipulate your mind into thinking that they are more powerful than they are. They're just popular, people. They're just popular. That's all that they are. You know, every single day, Blueface shows how much of a weirdo he is. And he's been a weird ass nigga, you know? He's been a weird ass nigga. But the more we watch him, the more we're starting to see, nigga, you a little weird. Like, you a little off. With your children, with your child, you're a little off. You're a little off, you know? Yeah, you're a little off. The more we pay attention, we're realizing that these people were never powerful. They were popular. And see, this transfer of power has already happened. So now, the last 6 months of the first 6 months of 2023, we were able to see the effects. And it was a slow effect. I told you guys it was a slow release of you guys finally realizing who was the weak individual around you in society and within yourself. It was a slow release, okay? And the reason why it had to be slow, because of the fact of you had to be able to process it to identify and organize where did this weakness come from? Because at the very moment you realize where it came from, you gave it back to the motherfucker it belongs to. And when you give it back to the motherfucker it belongs to, it normally frees up more of you where you don't have to do as much work because of the fact of it never belonged to you in the first place. And if it never belonged to you in the first place, that means that you shall not work on something that has nothing to do with you. You see what I'm saying? The energy of, the motto of protect your energy is at a whole nother level now. Because you got to protect your energy to where motherfuckers were trying to put shit onto you, making you trying to handle the weight of that burden. Oh, no. This is a you problem, not a us problem. Who the fuck is we? That was a you problem. That insecurity that you projected onto me, that was a you problem, not a us problem. I've identified that was a you problem, not a us problem. So therefore, I don't have nothing to process. This ain't had shit to do with me in the first place. That's the energy we're rolling into with society, okay? A lot of the things that we allow society to tell us, we're identifying it every day that's a you problem, bitch. I keep trying to tell people, y'all wouldn't have all these trust issues. You wouldn't have all these bad insights about relationships and think somebody always trying to fucking prey on your downfall. If you got your ass off social media, get off social media. I told Aquarius this last year. I said, get off the media. That shit is trying to corrupt your mind. Your mind is the most powerful thing in the world. Why would a strong-minded individual allow what a dumb bitch is doing on the internet to corrupt what they could have in the real world? Why would a strong-minded individual allow a popular influencer to affect what they want to do in the real world? That don't add up. That doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense to me. The math ain't mathin'. Okay? So in the month of July, I want you to understand that there will be a lot of shape shifting. There will be a lot of organization. Okay? Mars being in Virgo, let me go ahead and tell you this. Mars being in Virgo, the best explanation that I can give, and I did a video about this that I'm going to post on Patreon a little bit later on, but I'm going to give you a little bit of insight of what I talked about. And if you haven't signed up for Patreon, you should, because baby, we've been on our Zoom on Patreon. Get on your Zoom. This energy right now is Aries and Virgo coming together. Okay? Now let me explain why they're coming together. Mars is ruled by Aries. The North Node is in Aries. The biggest thing I've been telling Aries is if you stay behind, if you stay behind the shield of protection of your spiritual team, whether it's God, Buddha, I don't care who you believe in, if you stand behind their shield of protection, nobody can fuck with you, right? And if you embrace the energy of a Virgo, that means you're constantly analyzing where you are as an individual. It's a me versus me type of energy, okay? So if you're in an energy where you're behind a shield of protection, where you can't be fucked with, and you're constantly in a process of analyzing yourself day by day, me versus me, do you think you can be stopped by anything? Do you think your mind can be corrupted by bullshit? Do you really think people can spit on your forehead and tell you it's raining? BFFR. That's why this ego death that we've been going through, and God explained it to me as spiritual contractions, and that you were birthing this part of you because of the fact of Virgo is me versus me, meaning you needed to become best friends with your ego. You know, a lot of people, their egos are their worst enemy. Their ego is their worst enemy. Pride is the devil. Self-sabotage. All that ties into pride and ego. It's the death of people. Okay? Aries understand that they are very far ahead. Okay? They rule the head, meaning they're always ahead of the game. But the thing about the Aries is they have to allow all the information that they got in their head processed through every part of their body. And why do they even have to let it process through at least to the heart? Is because Virgo rules the stomach, meaning that if you feel it in your heart, that means that when it get to that gut feeling, you're gonna be on it. That means that when you decide to move forward, you decide to move, you decide to cut somebody off, you decide to bring somebody in, you decide to go forward with something. You've let it process all the way through till you feel it in your heart, and that you feel in your heart, but you feel in your gut, and that gut instinct gonna move on it. It's gonna move on it real fast. You know, the energy of impulsiveness actually is what you need to be in leaps of faith, God says for July. God says, I want y'all to take more leaps of faith. And the reason why I also say this is because we've only known Virgo energy to be with Pisces energy because they're sister signs. If you're not in astrology, it's okay. I'm going to break it down for you real fast. Pisces and Virgo are sister signs. Pisces rules the 12th house. It's a water sign, very intuitive, a lot of wisdom there, okay? But see, we can't get into Pisces energy if we haven't already accepted the other side of Mercury. See, Virgo and Gemini both rule Mercury. Mercury is the sign of communication, technology, the thoughts, the way you speak. You know what I'm saying? If we've never understood the other side of Mercury, how can you go ahead and step into Neptune energy? That's normally how you step into an illusion. So right now, Virgo energy has switched with Gemini energy, which has put people in a place where they want to see different parts of the world. They want to get out of the earth element and get out of the water element of emotions, and they want to step into the air element of logic. They want to bring some type of balance between the earth and the air. They want to bring that to them. And you can tell by the collective because of the fact of right now, people that aren't accepting that they need to step into logic, they look very emotional, irrational. They look very emotionally irrational. They look very like they look like little children having fucking tantrums. And what is wrong with you? What's going on here? What is the logical reason by why you act like that? What is the logical reason why you think this is happening? What is the logical reason to the resolution of this? You know, I told people, and I can't remember, was it a specific message, but I said a lot of people are not solution-based. They are not solution-based. They prefer chaos. They prefer chaos. They prefer problems. They prefer stagnancy. They just prefer it. Instead of them actually coming up with a logical, and even if you don't know fully the whole, logistics of it, at least become solution-based. In July, thank you. In July, I just want to prepare you guys because people will not be solution-based. They're just going to try to add a lot of emotions with things. And see, the reason why this Aries and Virgo energy is actually very beneficial for you because it's going to allow you to continue to process everything that you need to do from the head to the gut. So you step into a planet of war because Aries is the gods of war. Mars is the planet of war. You're going to end up having a war with yourself, full of emotions, instead of allowing yourself to strategically move into a logical mindset to solution-based problems. Because why the fuck would you want to continue a war in the mind? Why would you want to continue a war of the mind? July is going to actually have you ask yourself that a lot more. Instead of you creating a war in your mind, move forward. You'll literally fucking deteriorate from the inside out if you just sit there and ponder on shit. I told Virgos, y'all need to get on planes. Y'all need to get on cars. And the reason why I say this, the travel thing, let me get back to the travel thing real quick. Or why this is very something you need to pay attention to your gut. Leaps of faith, pay attention. Because the North Node is changing, there is a lot of people and energies that are and entities. God says, no, be specific. Entities that are trying to get in certain timelines. The fastest way to travel in our world is through the sky on an airplane. Literally. That's why there's so much chaos going on at the airport, because of the fact that there are people that do not need to timeline jump. There are people that don't need to quantum leap. They don't need to do it. Because of the fact of when you're in the air, that's the element of thoughts. That's why people say quantum leaping is a state of the mind. You know, they change their mindset to be more abundant. They change their mindset to be more powerful. They change their mindset to be more in a wealthy mindset. They change their mindset. I'm telling you, when you on a boat, you quantum leap off emotions. Okay? When you drive, you quantum leap on the earth. All right? When you burn things, you know what I'm saying, fire type of, rockets and shit like that, just fire elements, whatever. You're quantum leaping based off fire, you know what I'm saying? Like off of passion. Thank you, Spirit, passion. That's why the airport is a no-go, because niggas is trying to timeline jump across things and mindsets that no. You still think you have things you need to close out in this karmic cycle. See, the South Node being in Scorpio the last 18 months has had people really open themselves up to the power. And what people are trying to do is they're trying to timeline jump, because they know that when this South Node and North Node switch over and they get into this North Node of Aries, bitch, they know they gonna fall. Bitch, they know they gonna fall because they don't got no real power. They have no real power. They don't got it. They don't got it. And some people, they just getting caught by the wind fire. They just getting caught by the wind fire. Some people don't even know what the fuck going on. Some people don't know what the fuck going on. Some people are traveling perfectly fine. Some people aren't. But you know what I'm saying? They're getting caught by the wind fire because of the fact of you don't know who on the fucking plane with you. You don't know what's on the plane with you. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. So therefore, it's like, I felt like, I get it, you don't want to fuck up the vacation, but bitch, always have a backup plan in this energy in July. Between the months of July, August, and September, it's best you have a backup plan, baby. Because whatever God tells you don't do, go do something else, and you better make it work. Because it don't got nothing to do with you. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand about this energy of the North Node and Aries. Aries are I people. We care about us. We're determined to make sure that us are okay. We're not trying to make sure the group of people is cool. We don't give a fuck about none of that. Because we feel that you also should have the power of individuality to be able to make sure you're okay as well. This isn't a dog-eat-dog world right now, y'all. But this is every man's for himself. You know why it's not a dog-eat-dog world? Because of the fact that me trying to chomp you down is going to fuck me up, because what you have destined for you ain't what's destined for me. And that's another big illusion that's about to be awakened up. Because people been trying to be on some dog-eat-dog world. You out here crossing niggas out about money. Nigga, money's money everywhere, B. It's money everywhere. You believe we going into debt and we got new millionaires every day. Nigga, it's money everywhere. You crossing people out about money? Your lack of integrity? You crossing people out about followers. You crossing people out about brand deals, about record labels. You crossing people about benefits. You just crossing people about shit that's literally it's available to all of us. I told everybody back in Libra season, I said everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. Whatever the fuck you do with your 24 hours is your business. So therefore, that is the part of the independence you have to place on people. Whatever they do in their 24 hours is on them. So therefore, you can't worry about what somebody else doing their 24 hours and your 24 hours. Because now you done spent minutes wasting your 24 hours worried about their 24 hours. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. Not right now. Not right now. That's not going to work. And see, we've gained compassion, we've gained empathy, we've gained awareness, we've gained understanding, we've gained self-love, we understand all that. So just because I don't fuck with you don't mean we got beef. Don't ever think that. I just don't care enough to worry about what's in your 24 hours. Just because we're no longer on the same frequency doesn't mean that there's a problem. Okay? This is business. This is not personal. Get out your feelings and get in your bag. The next 18 months is going to be about finances, meaning that it's going to be about financial matters when it comes to cash flow, when it comes to credit, when it comes to investments, 401ks, Roth IRAs, all that shit that got to do with money is going on in the next 18 months. Money is power. That's what they're losing is power. So therefore, anything that credit is power, love is power, money is power, wealth, health is wealth. All that shit is power. So if they're losing power, meaning they have to gain control into something, pay attention, people, because what they're doing is they are taking the time out they 24 hours to get in your 24 hours, and it ain't none of their business. When I tell y'all this is going to be the biggest season of Mind Your Fucking Business, because it's not personal, it's business. That's why you don't need to tell your homie everything that you got going on. That's why these couples that are coming together, y'all ain't gonna know about these couples coming together. That's why these friends coming together, you're not gonna know about these friends coming together. You're just gonna have to be in the present moment to be able to see people in their naturalness. That's why in the month of July, you're gonna see a lot more people conduct themselves differently on the internet. As you guys are seeing, and I don't know if you I don't know if y'all seen this already, but the things that I'm posting, that shit is from months ago. That's how niggas gonna be on the internet now, because you're not gonna be able to keep up with them. You're not gonna be able to July has a lot of monitoring spirits. Thank you, Spirit. God says y'all need to pay attention, because July has a lot of monitoring spirits. People that just want to watch. People that just want to be nosy. I keep putting so much emphasis on this on my Patreon. I told my Patreon people, and I keep it a buck with you. I don't care. I'm a real ass bitch. I don't need your fucking money. Bitch, don't come around me just because you want to be entertained. Come around me because you want to learn. And you want to educate yourself. And you want to invest in yourself. You want to invest in yourself for your children. And you want to invest in yourself for your people around you in your community. You don't need to come around because you need to be entertained. I don't care for that. I don't do monitoring spirits. I will cut you off completely, because a monitoring spirit is a devilish energy. Even if they're not bad for you, it's a part of the devil, because the devil needs a host. The devil can't move in the world without a host, meaning that sometimes he use people to monitor. You don't need to monitor me. Don't monitor me. I'm trying to tell you, monitoring me is going to have you always lost in the sauce. You're going to always be like, well, what did happen? How do we figure that out? What happened? Because of the fact of July has a lot of monitoring spirits, because people can smell it. They can smell it. They can smell greatness. They can smell purity. It's so, goodness and success has a very sweet taste to it, not bitter. Growth has a sweet taste to it, not bitter. When you go into a new cycle, when you go into a new energy, when you go into a new purpose, when you go into a new sense of love for yourself, a new sense of stability, it's a sweet taste. It's not a bitter one. Bitterness shoos away devilish energy. Sweetness brings them to you. It's the same thing they say, honey attracts flies and bees. Pay attention. July, you gotta pay attention. I told Aries, I said, just so you know, you have a new sense of awareness. A new sense of awareness means new levels, new devils. Karmic cycles never end. We will always be in karmic cycles. When I tell people that we're getting to abundance, we're getting to prosperity, we're getting to happiness, I'm only telling you this for the level that you completed, baby. You still got other lessons to learn. You will always be learning. We're never here to not learn. At the very moment you stop learning, you might as well cross yourself out. You might as well cross yourself out. The comparison that is people that are going that they're going to try to do in July is an illusion. There is no competition. That's an illusion. That's a myth. Competing with people is like negotiating your worth. If you would not negotiate how much you are worthy of, then you don't need to compare or compete with people. Because whole time you trying to compare yourself and compete with somebody that sees their worth for $5 and you feel like you 5 million. Where the fuck is the comparison there? You can't compete where you don't compare. Pay attention. July has a lot of keep it pushing, keep it player. Yes, this is July's fairy news. This will be saved. And I'm gonna try to download it and put it on YouTube. Okay? Let's go down some core things, that I gotta talk about. So one of the things that I know is going to come up is the food. So I said this back in the mid-year report, but I want to make sure I reiterate it because it's going to start in the month of July. God wants you guys to start investing in better foods if you're going to eat out. And if you're not going to eat out, you need to cook more at home. Cook more at home. Okay? Sometimes it's not about what you eat, it's the intention that's placed into the food. Let me say that. God says sometimes it's not what you eat, it's the intentions you put into the food. Okay? Another thing that I keep hearing, you guys are going to have to your intake to how you hydrate yourself, that's going to have to get better. So meaning you're going to have to hydrate more with coconut water or just putting things in your water, lemons, limes, Himalayan salt, just things of that matter. You're going to have to hydrate differently, okay? Hydrate differently. If that means that you need to drink body armor or you need to drink some type of electrolytes, I don't fucking know. I don't care. But I'm telling you need to hydrate differently, okay? Water is the goat, okay? Water is the goat, but it needs something in it. Something of the mind. Since the mind is ascending, the fluid has to ascend as well. But the key word God keeps saying was hydrate. Okay? Another thing that we need to be paying attention to in the collective is when it comes to our health, let me go ahead and tell you this. Your body is going through a huge transformation, all right? Wherever you have Scorpio in your chart, things are going to move a lot quicker, okay? So, example, let's say you have Scorpio in the second house. So where finances, resource, self-worth was very stagnant, all of a sudden it goes, whoosh. All of a sudden you got hella resources, you got hella money, you know what I'm saying? Your confidence is through the fucking roof, If you had, let's also say you have like, let's say you have Scorpio in your sixth house. That's like about routines and stuff. All of a sudden your routine is down packed. You got this going. You know what I'm saying? Like your body just goes pew. You know what I'm saying? Some of your addictions, boom, it's just done. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole shit is just done. This energy of stagnancy where the South Node has been in Scorpio is because you have the awareness and the godly consciousness of the transformation that's needed. And also you understand what to enhance instead of what to transform. Okay. Wherever you have Taurus in your chart, I just want to let you know that everything's gonna take off completely. Like where you have Scorpio in your chart, things fall off you very quickly. Okay, so like it's something about it falls off, and that's not a bad thing. Trust me, it's not a bad thing. It's like God says, it's like when your credit restores every 7 years. So you go back to a 700 credit score even. Like that's just how it goes. So like your self-worth or how people see you in your first house, the third house, how you communicate, you go back to a 7, a balance like pH or whatever like that. I'm just giving you an example. You just go to a 7. So like if you have like any like I don't know, something about that. You just go back to a clean slate, okay? And then where you have Taurus in your chart, everything, it goes up because of the fact of the North Node in Taurus has been having everybody get into this energy of being in a more what would Jesus do type of thing. So when people get into a more what would Jesus do type of thing, it normally has them very ascended, like they ascend to higher levels, right? And since Taurus is an earth sign, that means that this is something that's been developing over time. So therefore, it's like, it reminds me of Jack and the Beanstalk. So therefore, there's been this little seed in the ground. Wherever you have Taurus in your chart, that wherever you have Taurus in your chart, that seed has been in the ground. In the last 18 months, it's just been getting watered and nurtured. The sun, it's had to go through all 4 seasons to make sure that it could sprout. And I'm telling you, at the very moment that the North Node changed, all of a sudden, wherever you have Taurus in your chart, it goes. Okay, so pay attention, because the thing about it is a lot of people won't be able to handle this. They won't be able to handle to be at a clean slate. They'll get a clean slate and then they'll fuck up the credit again. You dig what I'm saying? Or they'll get the beanstalk or whatever, and then they forget that they have to continue to water it. You know what I'm saying? Give it sunlight, or it will fucking die. Okay, if you don't, regardless when a flower opens up or it blossoms, it still needs sunlight. It still needs food. You know what I'm saying? It needs cold water, bleach, whatever the fuck the bitches be putting in their flowers. I don't know. My flowers always die. Don't judge me. That's what I'm saying. So even though this does sound good, a lot of people not gonna be able to handle it, which is gonna fuck them up. Cause it's just like you did all that work just to get fucked up in the game. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. Whew. So Venus will be going into retrograde towards the end of the month. I just want to touch a little bit on this. Please expect a lot of because I touched base on this in my private live, and I want to go ahead and talk about this in the fairy news. Expect a lot of refunds. Expect a lot of like missing money found. It just appears. Also expect a lot of negotiation with companies. So like, your wages might go increase, or, just things of that nature that they're in the works of doing. So just please expect that while Venus goes into retrograde. Another thing is I'm probably gonna do something separate about Venus in retrograde, because a lot of the information that's been going on social media, they're lying. You know what I'm saying? They're saying things, they're touching more on the relationship, and not to say that the Venus is not going to bring relationships, but see, the thing about it is, this is what it's going to do to relationships. If I could be real with you, what it's going to do to the people in a relationship is really going to have them come back in a sense of trying to correct their behavior. That's it. It's not like a Mercury retrograde where it's like a hey big head. Like, niggas is really gonna try to come right their wrongs. And the thing about it is, it's business. Like, you're not a good business move. Like, you bad business. So like, there's nothing that we can do here. You dig what I'm saying? And a lot of people have been trying to make it seem like it's, a whole bunch of situationships and, all toxicity. It's not toxic at all, actually. Like, I know that sounds weird to say because it's a retrograde, but it's not. The people really do see that they lack a lot of self-worth and confidence within themselves, and they see that you do. It's that standard thing and that entitlement thing that I was talking about in the beginning. So it's like them basically trying to tell you like they're a better person, but bitch, you need to be a better person to yourself, not me. The fuck? And then with the money thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, the money, you getting money back to do the right thing. Like, Venus in retrograde is actually it's slowing down so we could actually be better people. Because see, Venus retrograde is in Leo, but in reality, Leo has switched with Aquarius. So Aquarius, they're all in this energy where they're accepting all their emotions. So what I'm telling y'all is a lot of people are accepting all their emotions and they're honoring their emotions. So them honoring their emotions is like, well, I want to be a better person to you. And that's perfectly fine, my nigga. But you need to be a better person to yourself. This don't got nothing to do with me because you realize how you took shit for granted. You know, I just haven't heard that a lot. I haven't heard that a lot when people talk about Venus in retrograde. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard that a lot. You know, it's always been some type of like, you know, oh, don't jump into a relationship. Why would you jump into a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got standards now. You know, Venus in retrograde is going to have people slow down to make sure that they actually have good standards for themselves. That's all this is. It's about standards. That's it. That's all it is. It's about standards. You know, even when it comes to working, even when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, like friendships, it's just the standard. Like, I've set the standard when it comes to this. So that's why it's like, y'all won't be seeing me on Instagram Live a lot no more because of the fact of, why the fuck would I pour into a collective that's not pouring back into me? That's stupid. I set the standard that people that actually are going to pour into me, I'm going to pour back into them. Y'all are going to see that as a collective when it comes to people that are true guidance and true spiritualists. They're going to go to Patreon. They're going to go to their OnlyFans. They're going to go to private things because of the fact of now they have better standards when it comes to their work. That's the type. Venus retrograde is about standards. Okay? Because also Aquarius are very much so ahead. So the standards that people are setting for themselves and setting in relationships and connections and businesships and friendships and, you know what I'm saying, with their money, that standard is actually from their higher self for the future. It's not even for the present moment, and that's where people gonna fuck up at. That's what I'm telling you. People trying to come back because of the fact of they want to be a better person to you. But you need to be a better person to yourself because that would be the best investment for the future, not me. Okay? There will be a lot of things in July. Your heart will be doing a lot. Your heart will be doing a lot. Your heart will be doing a lot in July. Your heart will be doing a lot because your heart has to mourn, purge, accept, honor, embrace every transformation that you guys are going to be going through in the next 21 days, 3 weeks. And I said in a video that I did, I told people in the next 3 weeks, a lot of you guys are going to realize you're not as ascended as you thought. You're not as ascended as you thought, you know, because this first 10 days that we've been in this energy with in July, what I've realized is when you have integrated with your higher self, you don't really have that emotional immaturity because your higher self doesn't have that like acceptance and that knowledge of emotions. They don't move like that. They don't move off emotions. So that's why when they tell y'all to cut people off and you be dragging on cutting them off, that's why they do shit to knock your whole shit over because of the fact that they don't see emotions. They see spirit. You see what I'm saying? Or when they telling you to actually go talk to somebody and do something, that's why that they do it because they see it in a spiritual way. They see it logically. Logically, your spirit is supposed to be with their spirit because y'all spirit is supposed to be doing something. So it's like, it ain't personal, it's business. And this is how I know a lot of people, you're not as ascended as you think because you still have a lot of emotions with things. You know, I don't talk about this often, but I'm going to talk about it. You guys are going to hear the truth about what them twin flames and kingdom spouses are from individuals. But the only reason why they talking about it from individuals because they already with their person. Wait on it. Just wait on it. Just wait on it. Wait on it. Because, you know, the South Node in Libra is about groups of people. Twin flames, groups of people. So the truth has to come out because of the fact that people have turned that whole trajectory or situation into an illusion. It's not what you think. Okay? People talking about they not supposed to be romantic. That's a lie. Why would they not be romantic? You don't have you know how I know people be lying talking about they're not supposed to be romantic. That will identify that a lot of people be having children out of lust and not love. These people are supposed to have children out of love because they're supposed to be birthing a bloodline of strong individuals that continue to also find another strong bloodline. To find another strong person so they can continue to keep the wisdom and power going. So why would twin flames not be romantic? Why would y'all not be together? If you met them, you're supposed to be together. You're putting your ego too much into the situation. You don't have faith in God because it ain't on your timing, it's God's timing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk more about it on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? God is saying keep a lot of things exclusive because of the fact of you're not going to take what I'm saying and you're not going to rephrase it or paraphrase it and you try to make it seem like you know, or you're not going to use the information that I give you and then allow it to feed into your delusion. The fuck no. So we going to really break down this motherfucker on Patreon. We're going to break this motherfucker down. Okay? Because July, they're going to knock out everything at the feet. They're going to pull the rug from everything during this 6-month time frame because of the fact of the structure that it was built on is bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm going to just go ahead and call it a spade a spade. It's bullshit. The things that we have been built on, that we've been learning from, that we have lived our lives on, we've grown up on, is bullshit. It's no other way to say this shit. It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We got kids out here between the ages of 16 and 20 out here trying to be an authoritative figure in other folks' house. You need to learn how to utilize your karmic people as stepping stones instead of you trying to always, have some type of power over people. What the fuck is that gonna do? You still in their house. Gen Z or Gen X, whatever the gen is, y'all gonna have a very rude awakening this next 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of y'all being kicked out of homes. A lot of people's home situations are going to switch because of the fact of you're trying to gain authority in someone else's home. I think not. I got to learn how to play chess, not checkers. These people are already triggered by your demons. And if you can't stand 10 toes down, that means you're codependent. So therefore, if you're going to stand on that shit you talking, you're going to get out and do your own shit. Or you're going to play the game and you're not going to let them bother you and you're going to trust in God and have God protect you. And you know what I'm saying? Get tough skin. A lot of people are going to have to get tougher skin. We as a collective, we've gotten very weak in the skin and the knees the last 3 years. We've gotten very overly sensitive. People are very narcissistic and they're very, they're very manipulative. And then, we have all this, trajectory of all this energy and, and all this. Y'all learn all these fucking big ass words and still don't understand. And that's crazy to me because Jesus Christ, do you look crazy? They're just gaslighting us all and they're just all, they're just all doing these things and then... Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. When somebody finally tells you the truth, it's gaslighting, manipulating. That's the fucking truth. Oh, well, you're just being insensitive. Insensitive? Or are you being delusional? That's a big thing I'm telling y'all. Y'all have to pay attention to in the month of July. It's going to start. It's going to start. A lot of epiphanies of how delusional people are will start this month. And you're going to be able to hear it because, see, the ringing in y'all ears that's been happening over the last 2 months and the ringing that will continue to happen over the next 3 weeks is helping your frequency and get you in tune so you'll be able to hear everything within your proximity the right way. Not the way you need to hear it, not the way you want to hear it, the way you need to hear it. A lot of things are going to be the way you need to hear it, not the way you need to see it that way and you need to hear it that way. Pay attention. So no, she didn't just do this by chance. No, he didn't just say that by chance. Listen to what they're saying. when your ears are adjusted, you're able to hear the context of why somebody's saying the things that they're saying. Meaning that when somebody's being in a woe me or my days are so sad, and they're trying to seek all this fake ass compassion, you can realize that they're actually trying to drain you of your energy so you can overcompensate where they don't stand up for their fucking self. Okay? So I told them in Sagittarius season, I told them that you guys need to find multiple platforms. You need to find multiple platforms to be able to express yourself. Okay? You need to invest in your mind. That's a big thing. You need to invest in your mind. Y'all really don't invest in your mind the way you think you invest in your mind. You don't stimulate your mind with shit you need to be stimulated. I'm gonna go ahead and say this because I need this to be said for the public. Stop trying to fit in with people and groups of people and influencers and gurus and spiritualists and preachers and stop trying to fit in. Then people don't give a fuck about you. Stop trying to fit in. Because you don't know where you find your crowd. I think the most confusing thing and the most confusing mindset that we have in our life is to be an adult. Because we still feel these energy as kids where we don't know what we want to do and how do we want to be accepted and where do we fit in. Quit trying to fit in with people. Y'all gonna have the biggest rude awakening because a lot of people that are stepping into power are gonna block the shit out you because of the fact of you don't interact. You just sit there. You don't talk. You don't do this. You don't do that. Because of the fact of they don't need that energy. You're stagnant. You bring stagnancy. Look. I'm just going to go ahead and call it a spade. I'm telling y'all, that shit is not going to work. People in power don't have time to be around people that have an inability to find themselves through within instead of out. Any advice for Pisces this month? What is Pisces? You're talking about Pisces? This is not a zodiac thing, baby. What else? That shit ain't gonna work. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, no, this not no what you call it, but hold on, I'm trying to make sure I ain't missed nothing. You're welcome. Hold on. I need to make sure I ain't missing nothing. Cause y'all ain't gonna see me on here. My ass gonna be right on Patreon. I'm gonna be right on Patreon. Bye y'all. So let me make sure I got everything for the month of July. I normally don't use this word because of the fact of I don't believe in it. I can't even lie to you. Tell you I believe in this word. In the month of July, make sure you're budgeting. You know what I'm saying? Spend what you're going to spend, but make sure you budget, all right? Because money's going to be flowing in and out, but you're not going to be able to actually see the money if you don't budget. You'll have money, but you need to budget. My notifications weren't on, so I missed the live you did Saturday. Oh, that was on Patreon. It wasn't a live. It was a discussion. We're going to have those every week. where we discuss what we went through that week. So I'm gonna make a post about it, and then like we're gonna agree on a time, and then we'll go from there. But those will be every week. Yeah, we're gonna make a post about that shit though. All right, so another thing, let me go ahead and touch base on this too, because Mercury will be in Leo. Okay, when Mercury goes into Leo, this is the time. Oh well, actually, Mercury goes into Leo today. Okay, this is why I'm so like direct with what I'm saying to you guys. Okay, because I'm in Aquarius energy of the logic. I'm got to tell you the logistics of things. I got to tell you the air energy. You know what I'm saying? Like the thoughts to get your mind really moving. I feel that wholeheartedly. I feel like there is a lot of energy where people are going to be very direct, okay? The downfall about Aquarius is that Aquarius can emotionally detach themselves from what they need to say. So this is where a lot of people are going to be very extra sensitive because they're going to feel like things lack compassion, but there wasn't any compassion that was needed in the first place. It was the truth, okay? Also, when it comes to groups of people, I do see a lot of arguments happening. When I say arguments happening, meaning like you won't be able to people gonna be really like popping their shit about their people. So like a couple that's married, you say something about his wife, that nigga gonna chomp your ass off. You say something about her husband, they gonna chomp your ass off. And it's not even like they're gonna be yelling and cussing, oh bitch, but the way they gonna really like logically cut you with the, I see the king and queen of swords to the world. Now, to the people that is in that community with them, they're the king and queen of cups. They're very loving. They're very graceful. They're giving all of them. Okay, but to the world is king and queen of swords, meaning that whatever you need to do, they're gonna lay down the truth and they're gonna cut your ass off. So while Mercury's in Leo, please make sure that you guys are understanding what people are saying, because if you have any type of miscommunication, misinterpretation, anything that was missed comes from a contradiction. So pay attention to your intuition, to what's telling you the truth, so you don't be falling into a contradiction and then you trying to argue about some shit that was already not even true in the first place. Okay, pay attention to that. I see a lot of misunderstandings through text messages and through posts and tweets and shit. You need to verbally speak. That was one of the downloads that I actually got. Hold on, wait a minute. I did a reading on Patreon for Aquarius energy, and that was one of the downloads that I said. You need to make sure you guys are verbally speaking, because sometimes when people text shit and they write shit, there could be some type of, like not understanding the context, okay? And so this is where I would not take things personal. Trust in your intuition if you feel like somebody's trying you, and then cut their ass off. But just don't be so hasty with things. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's best if you feel, my thing is at the very moment you feel like the text messages got a little bit of weird energy, pick up the phone and call the person. Seriously. They need to verbally hear it. Because another thing about you verbally hearing it, you're going to be able to hear when people are being very condescending. That was one thing that God kept saying. People are going to be very condescending, where they're going to be talking to you like you a fucking dummy, when the whole time they the ones that have contradicted themselves, and they're not paying attention to the logical response. They're not being solution based. Anybody that's very condescending, they lack the ability to find the solution in the problem. So what they do is try to make you feel stupid, like, oh, you didn't know. Whole time they didn't have the solution in the first place. Pay attention. Okay? We're finally seeing people for the weakness that they are. They're very weak. Okay, you're going to continue to see that. A lot of podcasts, a lot of shows of communication will be very boisterous, and they'll be very vocal about things. You guys are going to see more couples be more vocal about what they go through. That is not always peaches and cream. You guys are going to see friendships as well where they're being more vocal. There's going to be a lot of vocalness and verbally speaking about the things that sometimes don't run as smooth, okay? A lot of energy when it comes to the inheritance. You guys are inheriting wisdom, you're inheriting power, you're inheriting a lot of things from your ancestors because of the fact that you released the inheritance of lack mentality, brokenness, incest, all the 7 deadly sins, envy, all that. That's been released, okay? Some people are holding on to inherited of negative things, and it's going to take them down under. So if God tells you to move away from people, move away from them. A lot of mothers will be getting their karma starting this month because the structure of them being that type of mother is a no-go, okay? A lot of weird energy between mother and son will be revealed. No-go. Mothers and mothers, no-go. People will finally come to the realization of why the black sheep in the family is actually the bravest, because they're going to finally address what the black sheep actually fought against. They're going to finally address all the shit that the black sheep told them, and they told them to be quiet, or they told them that they were wrong. All of that is going to start to come up starting in July. The black sheep was never the outcast. The black sheep was never the nerd, the weirdo. It was the bravest. You know why? Because they went against every generational curse that everybody decided to fall victim to. So people are going to start giving their credit where it's due. People are going to start. That's why I'm trying to tell you about that monitoring spirits. People always knew you was the GOAT. Don't let them try to play now. Oh, you don't need a motherfucking thing. You don't need a motherfucking thing from me. Okay? You don't need nothing from me. I ain't got nothing for you. Okay? Any connection that comes back together, you guys aren't coming back together to right wrongs. You're coming together to write a new book. You don't need to right any wrongs. Write a new book. God has already deleted the things out of the past that no longer serve you. So you have nothing to even reflect on. A lot of people will be coming into an energy of vulnerability and intimacy. That it's going to take off very quickly. Very quickly. The vulnerability and the intimacy will be a highlight because of the fact of people have built their vulnerability and their intimacy based off a lack of power and an energy of manipulation. So in the month of July, you're going to see more people being very vulnerable, and they're going to be very open. Meaning, when I tell y'all that, let me tell y'all this, meaning that these people is not fucking around. You cannot manipulate them out of their vulnerability. You cannot manipulate them out of their intimacy energy. You can't manipulate that type of intimacy with people. That's something that is earned. It's not going to be given. And people earned it based off of the energy that they exude from them because they have been working on themselves. You know, I hear God saying a lot of people are going to be people's safe places. You know what the scariest thing about somebody being a safe place to somebody else? Meaning that they don't play about that safe place. They do not play about that safe place. They do not play about that safe place. And that safe place do not play about them. So people have found safe place with their ancestors, and they found safe place with God and Buddha and Oshun and Ra and all them people. They done found a safe place with them, meaning that I'd leave people the fuck alone, okay? Because Saturn is also in retrograde, all right? And this energy is very heavy. The spiritual realm has now made its presence known in the physical aspect. That's why I leave people alone. Seriously. I would leave people alone. People's whole empires are crashing. People's health are crashing. You know, there's some other things I'll touch base on, but we probably won't have to touch base on until about September. But it's because it's people not ready to hear that truth yet, but it's okay. A lot of you guys are about to get pushed so you could take a leap of faith because you're procrastinating. Okay, you're still being codependent. Any type of codependency energy that you're in, God is gonna knock you out of it. So I got the number 449 in the store, and God says, read the meaning of 449. 449, angels are seeking your attention to help you turn the page and move on. Hello? They wish to guide you into spiritual insight. The number 449 represents career growth and fulfillment, and it requires thought before beginning. Thought. Stimulating the mind. You must be prepared to make a decision before beginning a project. I rest my case. I rest my case. The bitch is a goat. Okay. Well, July is very different. July has a lot of key parts. It's so many different. Thank you, Spirit. July has a lot of key parts. July has a lot of key parts. It has a lot of key parts. A lot of key parts. Okay. It's broken down into so many different parts. I can't even lie to you. It's a lot of information. I've been on Patreon. Let me just tell y'all, like, this is how I know that Patreon was where I needed to be, for real. I started Patreon July 2nd, right? I done already had 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got a 5th one coming. I've already had 5 videos, and we're only 10 days in. 10 days in, and the energies don't, like, it's not that they connect, but they don't, it's not like they're literally like puzzle pieces to a bigger puzzle. It's fucking crazy. 5 videos already, and we only 10 days in this motherfucker. Normally I might do like 3, 4, you know, and it might all, be different things. All these things correlate to one big puzzle, and that's the craziest thing I think I'm seeing and I'm witnessing, and that's how I know we're all ascending in different levels and we all move in different timelines. And if you don't believe in that, that's fine, but your mindset is moving. Let's start using timelines as mindsets, okay? Just to make sure everybody's on the same accord. There's so much mindset changing and moving so fucking fast, but the fact of that everything you're going through and everything that's happening within you, it's all a part of a bigger puzzle. And that shit is insane. Like, that shit is fucking insane. Like, I did an Aquarius reading. That shit came out of nowhere. Come to find out, the Aquarius reading had something to do with what Neptune wanted to talk about. Then that had something to do with the 7-7 portal that we went through 3 days ago. Then in the 7-7 portal reading, they was like, hey, just to let you know, between 7-7 and 7-17, we gonna split shit into 3 different parts. I said, what the hell? They said, yeah, the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th, that's one part. So I want you to think about the shit that's happened between the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. Okay? Now, something different is about to happen 10, 11, 12. Watch. And then something different is about to happen 13, 14, 15, and that's when it stops. Because Sunday is the day of illumination. So therefore, whatever is illuminated is basically going to be like it's going to be like the final exam or like the final reveal of all the 3 parts that you went through. So you can take what you need from those 3 parts so you can move forward into the North Node when the portal closes on the 17th, which is the moon day, which is the place of intuition and illusions. This is where I'm trying to tell you, July is going to have people wake up to a lot of their delusions. And it's funny because I kept singing that song, Real Doodaloo, yelling out, my man. I was like, oh, Lord. And a lot of y'all you're correct. Your intuition's spot on. And you always knew. I think I'm going to, do all zodiac reading for the North Node of Aries. I'm going to do all zodiac reading. It'll be on Patreon. I'm probably going to split it up into 6 and 6 or I might do 12, but I feel like the messages might be a little too long. So I might do an all 12 zodiac, each zodiac reading for the North Node and Aries on Patreon. That's what I'm saying. Y'all just gonna have to get on Patreon. I at this point, I really do not care. Like, I am not making no type of exceptions. Like, I'm not. I'm really not. Because of the fact of, it's just like all this shit is adding up to really help everybody in a different way. And I'm sorry, that monitoring spirit thing, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. That monitoring spirit shit is really weird. Because it's just like, why do y'all act like that? Why are y'all monitoring so much? You know? So, you know, like I always tell people, ask God for how much you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Ask God for how much you need, you know what I'm saying, for each, whatever tier you want to be a part of. And let's get it popping. Yeah, sorry, y'all. My bad. I had to respond to something. So if you go to the link in my bio, it's the second link right here. And then, y'all also need to get that damn book, okay? You know, some people really do promote their shit because they just want to get the money. I'm always going to get paid. But baby, y'all going to need that damn book. These niggas is crazy. The world is about to get real rocky. It's about to get real walky out here. Oh my God, it's about to get walky. It's about to get walky. That book gonna help you. Click the second link, which is the Patreon. You see my fine ass? Here we go. Boom. Oh damn, it's already showing, you know. I didn't mean for that to happen. I was trying to get you so you could see the tiers. Jesus Christ. View page, membership, tiers. Boom. So you got study hall, and then you got study hall, and then you got the classroom. Okay? Read it. Make sure you know what you want, and then pick a tier. All right. Don't join us if you aren't going to interact as well. I also meant to tell you that because we interact in here. Seriously. You got to comment. We be having class discussions. This is not a game. This is serious, you know? And the reason why it's getting serious is because of the fact of what's been happening over the last 3 years is we've been learning so much in home that we don't... Y'all know me and that damn charger thing. We just don't get along sometimes. But we've been learning so much in home that we don't know how to handle this in the public. So that's why a lot of people is like, oh, I've healed so much. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, they go into public and they're so triggered because you didn't heal to survive. You only healed to be able to say you healed. You know, the healing actually starts when you're in